Hello everyone, my name is Lord Pratap and I welcome you all to episode 2 of our Chronicle Talk Show, Remember the Name. Today I have with me two guests named Depra and Queenie. Welcome guys.
Hello.
Hey there, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was nice to be here.
It's great to have you guys here. So after episode 1 was released, actually the whole gaming community was like WTF. I can't say it in full, of course, but every gaming community person was like, okay, what the F? So I thought that it's just best to have actually WTF here on our show for episode 2. So today we are going to talk about the alliance Dracarys, most popularly known as WTF. So guys, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on the recent SOW performance where you were very much close to actually winning the season, and now we have AC season running on and you have also qualified for UC, so that's really amazing. Congratulations for that first.
Thank you. It's been going well for us recently in game, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so over past few months, if we evaluate the performance, like so far we have noticed that WTF has been a very consistent alliance, but recently the performance has improved a lot. So the very first question which I would like to ask you guys is, performance wise, what all do you think are the major factors like behind the success?
I think for us, in terms of our like recent upswing in terms of our performances, a lot of it is probably due to the fact that we haven't really lost any members for like a very significant period of time. I think a big reason for that is like the internal culture we have that
Yeah,
I guess we've built over a long time, and as long as you're not losing your best players consistently and you can keep building on that, it just sort of naturally flows into better event performance and it just sort of snowballs from there. So I think from my perspective at least, that's where the recent like upswing in successes came from. I don't know how Queen sees it herself.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always done fairly well. We've definitely, like Depper said, we've been able to retain all of our top, end players, which is actually most of our alliance is extremely active and awesome membership. But along the way, we've been able to kind of replace the lower performing people or people that were quitting with really awesome catches from other alliances that were going through changes and just kind of serendipitously worked out in our favor.
yeah, because I have also noticed certain things about the alliance WTF, and I believe that the overall alliance environment, it's the atmosphere is really amazing. And I mean, if I backtrack the alliance from the roots, like being RYS on K21, then to the merger with CTL Alliance, and then another merger with ENL and being called known as WTF, the journey has been long, but the internal environment, the atmosphere has been really great. So many similar names from like last 2 to 3 years. I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, Queen's probably the one to talk on that because she was the one that approached me from CTP, I guess, at the time when I was in Reese, and I think it was that she saw the like similar atmosphere, and I think
Yeah.
that was the appeal for her because, I mean, we were nobodies in effect. We had no like strong accounts or anything. She was coming from having Asterix and Napoleon and people, but it was that wanting that culture. I think. I mean, Queen. Would
Yeah, definitely. And like in our time in Cartel and CTP, is all about environment as well. So I could clearly see that, we saw eye to eye on that, and just knowing Depra and, his sense of humor and just our environment and our crew, like I just knew it would be a good fit. He was, teasing me with screenshots from their server and, funny stuff that they were doing. And I was like, oh, I want in on that. So, yeah. Yes, the song.
Yeah, I think that must have been the main selling point.
Yeah, so he was. We were both simping on each other a little bit, and yeah, it just worked out.
Yeah, we're not one of those alliances that are like screaming at people on voice when they
No.
mess and stuff.
Yeah,
We're like,
I've never seen.
it's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah. Personally, I mean, the world knows that I am part of WTF, and I have been part of many other teams obviously in past, but I've never seen anyone yell in WTF voice. It's surprisingly, like, it's amazing. Like, even if something worse happens, which is unexpected or should not have happened at all, I mean, still there are so many people just laughing about it or just simply blaming Joseph for everything. So that's
That's our go-to, yeah.
yeah, Joseph is getting blamed for everything, and that's it, we just move on. So that is really amazing.
Poor Joe.
I mean, it's a game, you know, like that. I think that's like our whole mindset is it's a game. Like, if you're not having fun while you're doing it, why are you doing it? And in this game, you know, so many of us pour so much time and energy and, let's face it, money, like, into this game.
Yeah.
So you better be getting what you want out of it. And I don't know, you know, people want different things. And like, Depper and I are both super competitive, you know, so it's not like we don't want to win. We absolutely do. But we just know our limits, and we know our team, and, you know, we fight the battles that we can win. And we always try to go to the next level, you know, so.
Having that competitiveness feeling, but still not going crazy over it. That's an amazing trait. So while we're talking about competitiveness, like, I wanted to ask about the competitiveness that WTF shares with other teams. Like, we are very much aware about certain competitiveness that go along. Like, we have PvP competitiveness between DEP and BDR. When we talk about AC and UC, then we have N3O versus BDR. So on that front, who do you think, in a healthy way of course, like, who is the most competitive alliance for WTF?
Right. Well, I think there's in terms of like what's closest to us in terms of like a competitive bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solidified as you've got a 1900 at least, so you have the events bracketed by time slots. You have BDR and M3O, and then we're in sort of a second tier with MB and HOH probably. I think those are the alliances that we'll probably have the best matches against it in the events in the game at the moment. But I don't think we really have huge issues with them on the same note. There isn't any crazy toxicity there like there is with BDR and ATD and whatnot.
Yeah. We just kind of mind our own business.
From my perspective, and this might just be me, but the alliance I feel like I'm most competitive with, at least, is like ourselves. Because if we just try and improve upon ourselves in every event season, both in terms of like strategy, shot calling, like roster building, things just naturally stem from that. So
Yeah.
like every AC season, at least, I mean, I quit for a decent chunk of time, and I've only been back for 2. But you can see like us adding things to our systems and getting more comfortable with things, and it's just naturally getting better and better. And yeah, we don't really approach it in terms of like we're out to get certain alliances. It's just we want to be the best us we can be, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's actually a very nice answer. Okay, so enough about WTF for now. Like, you both are veteran players, right? Like, have been playing this game for a very, very long time. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what has been your total gaming time and certain experiences, and especially I would like to know about the starting phase. Like, today we all know Queenie or Depra as like huge accounts. They are pretty strong, amazing. But how did it start? From where did you start? How did it look like back then?
Well, I knew about the game before it was released, so I was on some list, and I got invited for Pioneer server, so that's where I started. And then it migrated into Kingdom 1, so that's where I was born, technically, in a crazy server at the very beginning. Just an all-out war server, and I was a baby, you know. All of our alliance was really tiny, so, and you know, and everybody on K1 was kind of forced to choose a side between these major warring alliances, and it was kind of a mess there. So then my alliance ended up moving to K5, which started out nice and then became a Total War server, but was actually a lot of fun and taught me a lot. And that's where I unlocked T4s, and I thought I was so cool, like 100 million power. And then, I don't know, it just kept going from there. Met some friends at Cartel and joined there in K19 and spent a lot of time with a lot of different people, some of them who are still with me and have been with me for a couple of years now. So I guess, that's definitely what's kept me going and really made me competitive, just working with other people and enjoying that process with them.
That's impressive.
Yeah. In terms of GoTWiC, my story is a lot more boring than that, to be honest. I think I was waiting for the release of season 8. Was it season 8? Was it season 7? I don't remember. But I think it was season 8. And I was talking about Game of Thrones with my IRL friends, and I just saw an advert for this game somewhere on the internet. I think it was Reddit or something, and I needed a fix for Game of Thrones as I was diving into all this lore stuff and theories, and I just made an account. It was on K21, and I've just been here ever since, basically. My first alliance was, I think, called WWS, and the Duke got drunk one night and just disbanded it, and we all just joined the second biggest alliance in the kingdom, which was a French alliance called OAS. And over the next month, most of them quit, and over time I just naturally took more responsibility and ended up becoming, I guess, the leadership figure. And then just went from there. We kept bringing in new people. The Queen ended up coming over, and then my interest, I wouldn't say interest waned, but I took the game way too seriously and took way too much on myself at one point and quit. And I came back to help a friend and stuck around just because I enjoyed the community. And I think that is what is keeping us playing realistically. It's just that community aspect, the laughs on Discord, the teasing of each other. Because this game wouldn't be anything without that, to be honest. I think that is the most important part of it, is how it brings people together, more so than the gameplay itself.
Yeah, actually my next question from Depra was this itself, because I remember when I saw 1 or 2 messages from Depra, I asked him right away that, are you back? So he said, I'm not sure exactly, I'm just here to help a friend. And then after a few weeks I realized that okay, now he's here. I was literally very happy because growing up I used to watch your videos. Quite frankly, I can't say that I used to stick by them or I understood them because they were too technical for me, but I used to watch them. And finally when I joined RYS, I remember I had a fantasy that okay, one day I'd play with Depra. So I even told Ethna that okay, I'm now finally going to play with Depra. So she was like, wow, great, that's great. And then I realized that right before I joined, Depra has quit. So I was like, seriously, I mean, how is it possible? So it's like, no, I talked to Kate as well. So she said, no, he's not playing anymore. I'm just running his account for now. I was like, okay. But finally, when you came back, that was amazing moment for me, fanboy moment, right? Okay, finally I was watching his videos and now I'm going to play with him. Great.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, and I never actually had intention of properly coming back. It was just, I think Kate was away for a week and she had no one to help with her account, and I was like, yeah, I'll help. And it was the start of Siege of Winterfell season, and I needed to be in voice for events. So I helped out, and it just sort of snowballed from there. I never had intention of coming back,
and I was like, anything. Oh, hey, Depra, can you cover Kate's team in voice? Would you have any interest in that?
Yeah.
It was day 1, wasn't it?
And then he was like, yeah, just, don't give me too much responsibility. Don't let me take on too much right away. Don't add me to all these chats, and then the next day he's like, okay, you can add me to the chats. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, hooked him.
That's Debra. So what about you, Queenie? Like, have you ever quit the game, or have you been going on for like in continuation?
I have never quit. No, I have threatened to quit many times. I've thought I was going to quit, but then I don't know. My friends always kept me in or said, oh, come play with me on this kingdom and wait it out. Things will get better and whatever. People just kept me going whenever I was done with the game or just,
Yeah,
we've all had our moments in this game.
that's really nice. So how does the gaming future looks like?
No, I mean, I feel like I thought I'd had enough when I actually came to Debra and said, hey, let's bring all our players together. I need to step back and just chill, But then I got a second wind, and then Debra took his break, and then he got a second wind, and now things are going well, and I think we're all really enjoying ourselves. So, for me personally, I don't have any specific long-term plan one way or another. I've built my account. I like my community. We have awesome friends, and I'll keep playing as long as it's fun and I enjoy it and things are going well for us,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what would change that at this point, at least.
Yeah, me too. I think the moral of the story is keep yourself sane, take breaks where you need to, and don't make emotional decisions. Because when I quit, it was a very emotional decision where it was a lot of stuff going on in real life, and I left the Discord. But even a week later, I was like, I shouldn't have done that, and I just sort of felt awkward. And I mean, I needed a break, but you put so much of yourself into this game, especially if you're really into the community and leadership and stuff, that you just have do what you have to do to maintain that enjoyment as a first priority, I think. And as long as you do that, I think you can keep finding satisfaction from the game.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as that's maintained, I'll keep playing myself personally.
Good point. So that reminds
At
me.
least until the...
Yeah, please, Queen. Go ahead.
I was just going to say at least until the zombie apocalypse. You really didn't need a pause for it.
No, actually, I also have a very interesting question for Debra. What is with all these numbers and technicalities? I mean, all your videos, they are too technical to follow. I mean, for me, I'll
What's
speak.
with the math?
Yeah. What's with this love romance you have with maths?
Love romance I have with maths. I mean, the honest answer is probably I've done so many damn GoTWiC videos at this point. I need stuff to make videos on, and the heavy theory crafty stuff is sort of where I've settled into in the past month, at least, since coming back as a chronicler. There's only so much stuff you can get into in this game, and I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions, myself more than anyone, realistically, especially after I came back. I thought I understood the game, and things get hot fixed, and you assume you're correct, but you're not at all, and you just act as if you are, and people tell you that you're right and don't correct you. And until you actually look into the how the game works, you don't properly understand it. I just think there's a niche there, at least in terms of content, which I guess is what you're referring to.
Well, that's been my whole gaming career. I decide something that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It looks right, it feels right, and it is right. I'm so confident. And after a couple of months, someone tells me dude, what the hell are you doing? That's not what you are supposed to do. So it's wrong. So now I don't even try to optimize or just try to think what's the right thing to do. Just do whatever.
I'm too obsessive for that. I want to squeeze every inch I can out of my account.
I think Queenie would also agree with me here. I mean, it's too technical. It's impressive, but for me, it's mentally draining to watch it because I think so incompetent at some point that okay, I have no idea what this sounds like, or is it like the same game which I play on a daily basis, or is it something entirely different?
I think that you should just be grateful that you can't see our AC strategy chat.
No, but actually you guys have been doing a really great job, to be very honest. Not just with the alliance or as an individual, but also for the like community point of view. If I talk about that part, I think it's amazing to have someone make such detailed videos. To, in all fairness, like not everyone is as dumb as me, to be very honest. So yeah, it's great to have that kind of knowledge out there. I personally feel it's really nice.
Well, I'm glad to help people. I was wondering where you were going with that when you said about community content. I was thinking you were going to refer to like our most recent posts and like our meme shadow and stuff. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what's the last thing I posted in there. But...
No. Okay, so one last question for you guys. Like, what does the future looks like for WTF as an alliance?
I mean, I don't see why we would change much of what we're doing now. I mean,
Yeah.
as a leadership team, like we all really work well together. We know what we're doing. We've, like Depra said, every season of AC in particular, I can just point to we've added new tactics, or at least improved ones that we added in the previous season. We've just really tightened up the core of our alliance so much that, I don't know, I feel like there's a really strong loyalty within our alliance. The way things are going, our coordination, our teamwork, I don't see a lot changing. Hopefully we'll just continue to go down the path we're on and keep having fun and keep being competitive, and who knows, maybe a really nice maxed account or 5 will join us, but if they're not nice, then it's probably not going to work out, as we know. So it's all good. We're happy as we are, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So why WTF? Like, what does it stand for? And seriously, why?
Uh-oh, here we go. It was just a fun 70% of the alliance remained, original RYS. And then we had 25 to 30 ENL players join us. We wanted to be really welcoming, and it felt important that they felt like it was their alliance too, and they weren't just being, taken over. So tag discussions were very difficult. So, at some point it was like, okay, let's just pick some fun 3 letters because we have to register for AC season, and we want to go in with a tag that we're going to stick to at least for the season. We'll hash it out later if it needs to be. And we threw a bunch of stuff out there. It didn't really stick. And then I was like, what about something just stupid like WTF or, some LOL or, just something like that. And it just happened to be that one of our officers actually had the tag, owned the tag. So we were like, all right, let's just do it. And that's really it. And then, we didn't change the alliance name from Dracarys. It has a lot of history, and, it means a lot to people. So I don't know. It's just stuck. We've had a lot of discussions about changing it. They're not very fruitful because we can't really land on anything better. People are split. It's not really worth it. Like, we have fun as we are. So I think at this point, we've just accepted, like, that's our tag. It's fun. It's silly. It is what it is.
The true story is we just wanted CCCPC to mistype WTP when he's joining our alliance, so we could just lock him here forever. We're still working on it, but that's the long-term plan.
He keeps escaping every time.
Well, I hope it works sometime soon.
I will say, though, it is fun when it scrolls across the screen at the top, and it will be like, WTF, Dracarys has earned 56,000 points, or something like that.
Yeah, but it's hard to type in-game chat, right? Because I often type WTF and it's
I've
blocked.
heard this. I've heard it a lot, but I actually take some satisfaction in that it's trolling people, so it's not a very good argument against changing.
We're up there with the famous censored words such as support and fragment. we're too dangerous to be spoken about in public.
Yeah.
NGMT.
Yeah.
This has been a fun conversation with you guys.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us on.
Thanks for this lovely conversation as well. Have fun. Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.